All right, a couple more things before. Yeah, you know what? We'll talk about Wayfarer before we hit to break. But this is pretty significant. New Wayfarer Abuse Enforcement Ladder Policy. That's a mouthful. This is coming from the Wayfarer forums from Niantic Tintino. Shout out to Tintino. Says, as you know, the last couple months from the Wayfarer team, our ambassadors, along with many others across Niantic, have been working hard to understand and combat ways in which bad actors abuse Wayfarer. I love that they're just calling them out. I love it. These type of abuse can take form in a way of low-quality contributions, review rings, and many other ways. I'm glad they called out the review rings. This is how all this crap gets pushed through and moved, and it all happens overnight. There's a lot here. Listen to the Wayfarer podcast or the Wayspotters podcast to get the complete details on this, because they'll be covering it in full. But what I do want to cover is if you click over to the Wayfarer Help Center through that link, it details the ladder policy itself. And if you scroll down on that, it talks about the warnings. Step 1, first infraction, you get a warning. Second infraction, 30-day suspension. Third infraction, 90-day suspension. Adam, you ready for this? Step 4, 10-year suspension. Bring the hammer down. That's what I'm talking about. 10-year suspension.
Wow.
They
10?
know that Wayfarer is the basis of the game board for all future Niantic titles. This is bigger than Pokemon Go. It's bigger than Ingress. It's bigger than Monster Hunter, which we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
They have to protect the longevity of the game board. And this is a pretty bold way to do that. 10-year suspension. It says, be suspended from all our games and from Wayfarer for a duration of 3,650 days. So good. So good.
Yeah, get ready for that.
Then they even have this...
Why would you even put yourself in range? You know what I mean?
Well, because people, they don't care.
Well, okay, so if you get hit
if they level bot accounts up to do this, they don't care. But it's still, you have to show that you're willing to puff your chest out. They have to show that they're willing to be on the offensive here, which is good. There is a redemption period with the exception of those that have been sentenced to a 10-year suspension. Offenders who have behaved impeccably for a period of 1 year will have their previous offense forgiven. So they're still really cool. There's still an appeal program. I love this. Shouts to the Wayfarer team. Yeah, get tough. Get strong. Get tough. I love this. I love this. Wayfarer abuse is a real thing. I like that they're calling out the review rings. That's probably the biggest problem in these large-scale Wayfarer abuse scenarios. So very, very cool to see them taking action. Make sure you check out Wayspotters for all the details.